It's Wednesday, 7:12 a.m. The man standing in line at the grocery store is arguing with himself over a bag of coffee, not out loud, just silently. The generic brand costs $8.99. The other one costs $11.49. He's trying to decide whether the difference is actually worth it. Not because he can't afford the expensive one, because habits built during lean years have a way of sticking around, even after the money shows up. The cashier doesn't recognize him. The teenager stocking shelves nearby doesn't recognize him. The woman pushing a cart with two screaming children definitely doesn't recognize him. Why would they? To them, he's just another guy wearing a faded grey hoodie and sneakers that should have been replaced months ago. The kind of person you forget 5 seconds after seeing him, which is exactly how he likes it. What they don't know is that before breakfast this morning, he made more money than most people in this store will earn all month. Not because he worked, because something he built years ago worked. While he was sleeping, while he was brushing his teeth, while he was standing here debating coffee, money was quietly moving. That's the difference. Most people spend their lives selling hours. A small group spends years buying systems. And the scary part, the opportunities are usually invisible while they're still cheap. By the time everyone notices them, the price has already changed. 10 years ago, he wasn't wealthy. He was a maintenance supervisor at a chain of apartment complexes. 32 years old, $68,000 salary, a bad back, too much stress, too little freedom. The kind of job where your phone could ring at 2 a.m. because somebody's water heater stopped working. The kind of job where every problem became your problem. Every morning he drove the same route. Every morning he passed the same storage facility. Nothing special. White metal buildings, security fence. 37 units sat empty for almost a year. A faded sign near the entrance. Weeds growing along one side of the fence. Paint peeling near the office door. Everyone saw it. Nobody looked at it. There is a difference. Most people see things. Wealthy people investigate things. Most people drive past an empty building and think, someone should do something about that. A small number of people ask, why hasn't anyone done something about that? One question complains, the other creates opportunity. One afternoon he called the number on the sign. The owner answered, 70 years old, wanted to retire, tired, done. There was a pause in the owner's voice. The kind of pause you hear when somebody has spent decades solving the same problems. The facility wasn't failing. The owner was. That's an important distinction. Many businesses don't die because customers disappear. They die because the owner gets old, and every year thousands of them quietly come up for sale. No headlines, no press release, no viral announcement. Just a tired owner wondering if they're ready to stop. Most people never notice. That one phone call changed everything. The purchase price was $189,000. He didn't have $189,000. He barely had $23,000, which should have been the end of the story. Most people would have stopped right there. Not enough money, conversation over. But money isn't always the first problem. Sometimes imagination is. So he learned something most people never learn. You don't always buy businesses with money. Sometimes you buy them with structure, seller financing. A concept almost nobody talks about outside investor circles. The owner agreed to monthly payments, part down payment, part financed. The deal closed. For the first few weeks he felt excited. Then reality arrived. The first 6 months were terrifying. 3 tenants left, the gate system failed, the roof leaked. One customer threatened to leave because of standing water near his unit. A storm damaged part of the fencing. Unexpected expenses showed up with perfect timing. They always do. There were nights he sat in his truck wondering if he'd just destroyed his future. Running numbers, doing math in his head, calculating worst-case scenarios, looking at the office lights long after everyone else had gone home. That's the part social media edits out. Nobody posts the nights they spend doubting themselves. Nobody uploads videos of staring at spreadsheets at midnight. Every boring success story contains a period where failure feels inevitable, a period where the outcome is unclear, a period where quitting seems reasonable. The first year of almost every worthwhile investment feels slower than expected. That's why so many people quit before the reward arrives. Then something happened. Slowly, painfully slowly, occupancy climbed. 74%, 81%, 88%, 93%. A few new tenants arrived, then a few more. A local contractor rented 2 units. A small landscaping company rented another. A family clearing out an inherited home rented temporary space. Small decisions, small customers, small payments, nothing dramatic. That's how most fortunes begin. The facility started generating cash, not life-changing cash, just enough. Enough to pay the bills, enough to reduce the stress, enough to prove the idea worked. Enough is dangerous, because enough changes the way you think. Enough creates options. Options create freedom. Freedom compounds. The first few $1,000s didn't make him rich. It made him believe, and belief is powerful. Once you've seen a dollar arrive without trading an hour for it, your brain never works quite the same way again. People think wealth arrives like lightning. Most of the time it arrives like sunrise. Quiet, gradual, easy to miss if you're not paying attention. You don't notice it happening until the room is already bright. 3 years later, he bought another facility, then a small RV lot, then a commercial warehouse, then a mobile home park nobody wanted because it looked ugly. Ugly is often where money hides. The prettiest opportunities attract competition. The ugly ones attract excuses. Most people want assets they can brag about. Very few want assets that simply work. A luxury condo gets attention. A self-storage facility gets ignored. One makes people ask questions at dinner parties. The other quietly deposits money into your account every month. Guess which one usually sells for a better return? While everyone else was scrolling through luxury homes online, he was reading county tax records. While everyone else debated stock predictions, he was calling owners whose businesses hadn't updated their websites since 2014. That's another secret. The best opportunities rarely advertise themselves. If everybody sees it, you're probably late. Think about that. The internet is crowded with people searching for the same opportunities. The same stocks, the same houses, the same businesses, the same trends. But wealth often comes from looking where nobody else is willing to look. The opportunity isn't valuable because it's hidden. It's valuable because nobody is competing for it yet. Right now, somewhere in your city, there is a business owner over 60 years old. No successor, no retirement plan, no buyer. A business producing cash every month. And almost nobody is paying attention. A plumbing company, a small warehouse, a laundromat, a local cleaning service, a car wash, a storage facility. Businesses people use every day. Businesses people rarely talk about. The owner spent decades building it. Now they just want out. Not because the business is broken, because they're tired. That distinction matters. Most people assume every business for sale is failing. Many are simply aging. And every year thousands of owners reach the same conclusion. I've done enough. I want to retire. The scary part, most younger people never even know those opportunities existed because they were never listed publicly, never advertised, never posted on social media. They changed hands through a phone call, a conversation, a relationship. 5 years pass, then 8, then 11. The game changes, not dramatically, quietly. At first he was buying assets. Now the assets are buying more assets. That's when compounding becomes visible, not in a spreadsheet, in real life. One property helps fund another. One business helps absorb a mistake. One cash flow stream protects another. The system starts developing resilience. And resilience is what most people mistake for luck. The grocery store cashier asks, "Paper or plastic?" He says plastic is fine. His phone vibrates. He ignores it. A minute later, it vibrates again, then again. 3 property managers, 2 acquisition leads, 1 attorney. 7 figures moved before lunch. What's interesting isn't the amount, it's the fact that none of it required him to be present. 10 years earlier, every dollar required his time. Now every dollar requires systems, managers, processes, checklists, software, people. That's another lesson most people discover too late. Wealth isn't built by working forever. It's built by becoming less necessary. The cashier hands him the receipt. "Have a good day." "You too." That's it. No applause, no headlines, no celebration. Just another Wednesday. And that's where most people misunderstand wealth. They think the reward is the money. It isn't. The reward is waking up and knowing your future is no longer dependent on your next paycheck. The reward is time. The reward is options. The reward is never having to ask permission to live your own life. The reward is being able to spend a Tuesday afternoon however you choose. The reward is knowing a bad month won't destroy you. The reward is sleeping without financial panic, sitting quietly in the corner of your mind. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every year you wait makes it harder. Not because opportunities disappear, because owners retire, properties sell, Businesses change hands, and the window closes. Someone else notices, someone else calls, someone else buys. Most people think opportunity waits. It doesn't. Opportunity moves. Every day somebody acquires a business you never knew was available. Every day somebody purchases a property you drove past for years. Every day somebody spots value where everyone else saw inconvenience. And once it's gone, it's gone. Most fortunes aren't built from finding hidden treasure. They're built from acting while everyone else is still thinking. The man leaves the grocery store, coffee in one hand, receipt in the other. The parking lot is almost empty. A delivery truck backs into a loading bay across the street. He notices the building. The building has been vacant for 5 months. The paint is peeling. One window is boarded up. Most people see a problem. His brain asks a different question. Who owns it? That's the question that changed his life years ago. Not how much does it cost? Not what if it fails? Not what will people think? Just who owns it? Curiosity has created more fortunes than confidence ever did. He stands there for a moment, looking, observing. Most people never realize how many opportunities reveal themselves when you simply pay attention longer than everyone else. He smiles, gets into his 12-year-old truck, and adds one more address to a list that nobody knows exists. The list started with one property. Now it contains dozens. Potential acquisitions, aging owners, vacant buildings, underused assets. Problems waiting for somebody willing to solve them. That's how it happens. Not with fireworks, not with luck, not with a viral idea. One phone call, one asset. One opportunity everyone else walked past. Then another, then another, then another. Year after year, quietly, boringly, relentlessly. Until one day people look at your life and call it success. Without ever seeing the 1,000 boring decisions that built it. Without seeing the weekends, the uncertainty, the missed opportunities, the risks. The phone calls nobody wanted to make, the deals that almost fell apart. The years where nothing looked impressive. Because from the outside, success looks sudden. From the inside, it feels slow. And that's exactly why so few people stay in the game long enough to reach it.